So you're ready.
I'll ask you too.
Howdy, Yags. I'm Bill Hill, class of '84, your club president for another month. And I want to welcome everyone here that's at Aggie Park, as well as watching us virtually. Welcome to Monday lunch on the 16th of December. Today marks November. That's right. I'm not thinking. Thanks. Okay, so we're going to stand for the invocation, if you would. Bow your heads. In this Thanksgiving season, Lord, we just want to give you praise for the many blessings in our lives. Thank you for all the opportunities and the places that we've come to be here today. Most importantly, thank you for Aggie Park, this San Antonio A&M club, and the camaraderie we join together constantly. Be with us in this next couple months as we endure the many challenges, but help us remember the blessings and the upcoming holiday season. Bless this food and earth from our body, and thus with thy service. Amen. Okay, we're going to pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And a pledge to our state flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you. You may be seated. Again, I want to welcome everybody here. There's not a lot of folks here, but I want to give those folks who may be new or any guests to stand and recognize. Do we have any guests or any new members here that need to be recognized? Well, it's good to see everybody here. I hope we have some new members and guests that are joining us virtually through our YouTube Live. We look forward to getting you back to Aggie Park, where we can join in Monday lunches more regularly with a bigger crowd. I'm going to show a video that supports the Aggie Park Capital Campaign. The Capital Campaign is that fundraising campaign we have, which is going to raise the funds required to expand Aggie Park outward and renovate the insides. And let's see if I can find that. I'm going to hit play. There we go.
I know the porch was really nice because it's real cool out there. And you could, do stuff out on the patio. And I don't remember if this other park area was fixed up or not. I don't think so. But what I remember was the bathrooms were the pits. I mean, they were kind of in the corner back there, but it was not a good setup. And then the kitchen, like I said, I remember this big, huge stove from, I don't know, it might have been from the 20s. I don't know who donated it or if it was here when the park was bought. But it was interesting. So the kitchen, working in the kitchen when there was 10 or 12 of us trying to warm up casseroles and serve tables. So as soon as they talked about the remodel, all of us were, okay, we have to have some input into the kitchen and try to figure out what we're going to need there so that we can make these things work. And we had that last party on February 29. And when we came back for Aggie Muster and we were setting up for the appetizers, I think, or whatever, it was like a brand new world. We were so excited. And it has just gotten better and better, and I'm sure the next one is going to be probably fabulous. But it's pretty nice now, and we've had some really wonderful parties back here, and we've had some really wonderful parties back here, and we've used it for a lot of things, privately. My daughter's 15th birthday party was here, and we've had lots of celebrations and lots of memories.
Well, there we go. Another testimony from one of our long-term members, San Antonio. Let's see if I can get this thing stopped now. Stop. Okay, speaking of the capital campaign, all of you will know, and it's probably a broken record, but our goal is 1.6 million. To achieve that, we secured a matching grant from the Mays Family Foundation of $450,000. And so that's every dollar that's contributed to the capital campaign is matched up to $450,000. Currently, our current amount is $1,192,000, and that's where we stand today. Let's see if I have one more slide on that. And see, I'll answer any questions you have. Okay, so since the announcement of that Mays Family Foundation grant, we have raised $246,000. That's been matched 1-for-1. And so that means we've really only got $203,000 left to meet the goal of 1.6, which will be matched by the Mays Foundation. Did I have a question?
Can I have a statement?
Yes, sir.
The wife of our beneficiary, Lowry May's wife, passed away.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Thank you. Yeah, the wife of Mays has passed away this week. You may have seen an obituary in the paper. So I think that's a good reminder. We had been in the habit of pausing in a moment of silence, and since we've gotten back to Aggie Park, we hadn't done that in a while. But there's been a number of Aggies since March that have passed away, and that we could take a moment to remember that. We have something else?
Yeah, I'll add one if y'all haven't heard. Andy Duffy, class of 78. Andy is a Century Tree Project Aggie, and one of his trees is planted out here. He passed away this Saturday, very surprisingly, of a heart attack. I don't really have the details.
There was Andy Duffy, class of 78. He was the founder of the Century Tree Project. It was a fundraising thing that grew trees from the acorns of the Century Tree at A&M. And apparently he passed away this Saturday unexpectedly.
He spoke in here at Aggie Park several times, and just a great all-around Aggie who contributed to a lot.
Well, that's a great loss to the A&M family, but there's a number of other folks that we've lost over the past 9 months. So if you would, join me in just a brief moment of silence and remembrance. Thank you. Okay, just a couple quick updates, slides here. Look, folks, we've got a pretty nifty fundraiser going on. It's an opportunity to win $5,000 cash, and the cost of that raffle is $100. In addition to that, there's a second prize of a trophy black buck hunt donated by Becky and David Holmes, one of our great board members. And that is a valued hunt of $5,000. The third prize is a Winchester SX4 12-gauge shotgun. It's a very, very nice shotgun, $800 valuation, and that was donated by the National Shooting Complex. So look, if you haven't picked up a raffle, it's a great opportunity to fundraise. We've got some of our board members have them. There's a number of them. And also, Mary has them. $100. Ask you to consider doing that. We've got a nilgai hunt. Now, you maybe don't want a nilgai hunt, but this is a great opportunity for a kid or a nephew or a friend of yours. These tickets are $25 each. There's only going to be 250 tickets sold. Again, we've got them. Vince has got them. Becky's got them. Mary's got them. Consider buying a ticket for a friend or as a gift or something. I will say that the drawing will be sometime in December for this, and that hunt will take place between January 1st and March 15th. If you are not here with us today and you're watching us virtually, you can go to our website. You'll see them right on our website. You can click on that, and you can add them to your cart just like you normally would, and you can purchase those. I would encourage you to do that. Remember, it's a fundraiser for Aggie Park, and it's very important. Fiesta medals are still for sale. Again, you can see on the screen, it is a Parsons Mounted Cavalry theme this year. It's got a spinning wheel. It's a really nifty coin. You can buy this for $10 or $5 more. You can get it shipped to your house. Again, you can go, those are available on the website. Unfortunately, with the COVID-19 pandemic, we've had to cancel Sunday with Santa. Sunday with Santa is traditionally one of the best events that we do. We have Santa comes here and he is great with the kids, but with COVID, Santa has informed us that he's not going to be able to do that this year. We will get that hopefully rescheduled next year. The annual club Christmas party is scheduled for December 17th. And at this point in time, the scope of that, whether or not we'll be able to do it, is to be determined. As most of you know, if you've been watching the news, the COVID numbers have been spiking across the United States, but in Texas and in San Antonio. In September, the 7-day rolling average of COVID new cases was about dipped below 100 for a day or two. And as of today, it's 332. So it's tripled since September. And the hospitalizations have also doubled. So as we think about that, that decision will be closer to game day associated with that. There are some ability to do that. The governor's got some rules which we have to abide by. So more information to follow on that. We'll get that to you as soon as we can.
Hey, Bill,
Yes, ma'am.
question, even if for some reason that party didn't go on, are we going to be doing the Blue Santa toy drive? Is that going to be something we do continue and maybe collect toys still? Not at the party, but elsewhere?
So the question was the Blue Santa toy drive, and I don't have. Do we have an answer on the blue?
Yes, we are. We're still going to do that.
So we are going to participate in the Blue Santa toy drive. More information to follow on that. Okay. Well, look, today is the conclusion of our annual meeting. Our annual meeting normally happens on one day because of COVID. We started it on December 9th, and it ends at 6 p.m. today. And as part of the annual meeting, we vote on our board, upcoming board. For the executive board officer nominees, we have only one candidate for each position. Typically, we ramp up from one position to the next as we move forward. This year's Vice President Logan Ricker is nominated for the president position. This year's treasury, Reagan Freiling, is nominated for the vice president. This year's secretary, Becky Holmes, is nominated for the treasurer. And third year board member, Don Priest, is nominated for the club secretary position. None of those positions are opposed. We have an opening for a third year director. We had two folks served in their second year as third year directors last year. And those were Doug Bach, class of 84, and Dustin Timmerman, 04. So I know, let's see, is Doug here today? Doug's not here today, but he has spoken before, and I'm going to call on Dustin to come up here. Dustin, you have an opportunity to address the club very briefly before we go to the next one. Dustin Timmerman, 04.
Hi, I'm Dustin Timmerman, class of 2004. I'm a ENDS major, environmental design. And currently a licensed architect and project manager at Beatty Palmer Architects. Been involved in the club since 2005 as a young Aggie. Back then I was scrambling around trying to do everything that I could to help out just when called upon, and I'd like to continue that. I'd like to help out and step up as needed. Doug is a great guy. You couldn't go wrong with either one of us. So I appreciate your vote to be active in the club, and thank you.
Thank you, Dustin. I can attest for his last statement. Both board members nominated here did an outstanding job last year. We're lucky to have both candidates applying. If you're in the, out there in the virtual land and watching this, you should have received an email as early as this morning, but yesterday, Saturday, as well as last week, you can vote online till 6 p.m. today. Okay, we have 5 nominees for first-year directors. Again, all of them are outstanding candidates here, and we're going to give an opportunity for those folks to give a short summary of themselves and why we should vote for you this year. Again, we've done this a couple times, but in case we haven't reached someone out in virtual land, we're going to do that. Okay, Chris Clemens, class of 79, come on up.
Well, howdy, everybody. You've heard my story before, I think, but I'll tell it again. I'm class of 79. I attended Texas A&M out of Houston, Texas. Spent some undistinguished years on the track team where I was a rather mediocre athlete, but I had a lot of fun. And anyway, I've been here in San Antonio since the mid-'80s. Have been off and on come to the club since then. I've spent 20 years in the real estate business, the last 15 years in the construction business. So I'm here to lend a hand to the capital campaign and anything else I need to do that you guys are so calling me to help with. So got a little more time on my hands these days. I'm not retired yet, but would love to serve in that capacity. Thank you.
Okay, I don't see David Gay here. Oh, yes, I'm staring me in the face. Come on up, David.
Howdy, Aggies. David Gay, class of 86. We moved here to San Antonio in 2004 and had the opportunity a couple of times to take the bus to A&M games, but was working so much I really wasn't involved with the club. 2 years ago, I went through a career change, and that's really freed my time up. So I'm looking for opportunities to really give back to the A&M community and also the San Antonio community as a whole. The last 5 years, I've been the president of Alamo Retriever Club, and we run hunt tests and field trials for retrievers in the area. And through that, I've had some fundraising experience, running events, and I think the 5 years as being the president, the most valuable lesson I've learned is you don't want to be president when your club goes broke. So we put in a lot of measures to make sure that all our funds were accounted for and that our events were on the positive side of the ledger and not the negative side. Anyway, look forward to supporting the club either on the board or if I'm not selected, I'd be happy to chip in where I can. Thank you.
All right, Gary Neal, class of 75.
Well, since you've heard this many times before already, I am Gary Neal, class 75, BQ, class 75. Worked in College Station for the university for about 22 years. I have been in San Antonio since 2000. Been in and around the club since that point in time. I really want to focus my remarks on where I see our club going in the future. This building we're in this park, this is our home. This is where we gather together to support one another. This is where we interact with one another. This is where we build our bonds together. But it's more than that. It is a real gym, because the second part of why we're here is to support students getting to A&M, helping them with scholarships. Now, we all know that the cost of this education is going to continue to go up in the future years. We want to offer more scholarships, higher scholarships, and so forth. Well, there's two ways of doing that. Raising dues constantly or making this place as cost effective in raising money as possible. I would like to help use my fundraising capabilities, which I've had a good bit of experience to do, to get us over the top to start the improvements for this structure and this building. They're much needed because this is a gym that could earn a lot toward scholarships and its own maintenance. We use this clubhouse about 50 or 60 days a year. That's over 300 days left available to rent this place out as a facility. But facility rentals in San Antonio are getting to be a very difficult market to be in. You need a Class 1 facility to be diverse in what you can market to be a good frontline earner for the club. This campaign that we're working on will do that for us. So I'm anxious to help with that, whether I'm on the board or not. I am retiring here in the next few months, and I'm looking forward to helping out. Thank you.
Justin Scantlin, class of 13, are you here? Justin is engaged here. He said he couldn't make it, but his presentation video is online if you want to look at all the candidates. There's a short word there. And I'm going to call up and recognize Dean Williams, class of 77. Come on up, Dean.
Wow, Gary, I'm gonna go get my vote, and I'm gonna vote for you this time. Can I vote for you 3 times? That's great, Gary. Everything Gary said is probably much what everybody else is thinking. And in a minute, I'm gonna show you that I just took a turn on the APEC, and this is my last year to be on the Aggie Park Endowment Committee. And I'm gonna show you some of the overwhelming, so you might wanna think about this before you vote. The Aggie Park Endowment Committee raised $640 for the endowment this year. Wow, I'm real proud of that. But we've got a lot of other money that we've been collecting for the capital campaign, and that was always known that that's what's going to happen. But I like I've said before, this is a great place, a great park, a unique group of people to work with. And if I can lend my time and talents, I'd be more than happy to do it. So I thank you all for letting me have the opportunity again, and may the best people win, and may all of us continue to serve. I'm Dean Williams, and I approve this message.
Well, I don't know, best person. We got some great candidates, man. Every one of them has passion for Aggie Park. They are willing to contribute, donate their time and effort and their talents. Whatever happens in this election, we are going to be blessed with a wonderful board. Well, you know, there is something about working with committees, and sometimes more is not better. I would just add that to the equation. Sometimes it's hard to get anything done by committee, but here we go. I'm going to go to a different presentation, if I can do this. Okay, and I'm going to introduce again Dean Williams, class of 77. He is our chairman of our Aggie Park Endowment Committee to give us an update. Dean.
Howdy. Here we go again. Now, Mark tried to show me. Down button, right?
Right.
Okay. Here's the members on the Aggie Park Endowment Committee, and as we've said before, we're also the ones that are in charge of monitoring and watching over the scholarship endowment, which we'll also go through today. Mike Boulder and I will be rotating off, and Paul Denham will be the committee chair next year. And after thinking through it and visiting with the soon-to-be elected President Logan Richter, we've asked 2 other supporters of our club and active members, Mandy Scott, class of 87, and Lane Mitchell, class of 79, to serve on the 2 slots that will be open this year. So I want to also point out that Bob Johnson, Richard Cardis, and Scott McMillan have given untimely year after year after year. I would say the one good thing about COVID, we didn't have to drive all the way out to Loop 1604 military, since we did the 2 of the meetings so far, and I guess the 3rd will also be on Zoom. That sure did cut down the travel time. The camaraderie is not the same, but we have met, and everybody always seems to be able to make, or the majority of the people can make it. I also want to thank Dave Matlock and Tim Montfort, who's here, who have stepped up to help along with this as well. So I think we got people that just continue to give. And of course, on one slide, I thought I was going to see, we also, not on this one, but we also have Dick Kistner as our member emeritus, but we thank you for all your long time support. Okay, I'm supposed to make sure I can see this, and I'll look right here. So this is what we have as of December. I mean, this was as of September or October. Anyway, so we have the RMI of 70,296, and so what that means is the RMI is what is reserved for maintenance and improvements. And so you can see for 2019, 20, and 21 the amount that we have in there. The balance as of 9/30/20 was 1.2, and I got to tell you, there were some conversations and nervousness, but as you'll see, you can see that we've made it through a lot of this. We did probably have a little setback, but the balance that the advisors have given us have been pretty good, and the market fluctuations were felt, but not as desperate or not as badly as we thought they were going to be. So as you all know, this is to enhance the park and helps with releasing or having funds that are available for scholarships by not having to do all the repairs out of pocket. The people that started this, they had the foresight to start it. Their goal was $1 million. We did reach it. We reached that in about 2016 or 17 was when the investments finally caught us up and put us over the top. I think it was some hard work. It was I think some physical constraint on keeping the RMIs at a minimum. And so this is why we're at this position today. Wow, they had good foresight. And I think we should all be really proud of the fact that we've got friends that came and built this thing the way they did. Of course, the more money you raise, the more that spins out of the endowment, the more things go through, and we have this is showing us how we raise the money, but we also have, well, there's another slide in a minute. But the money that's raised in RMI funnels right into the scholarship endowment. So as you can see, we have the real key here is the endowment is not $585,307. That's the endowment, and we have the reserve funds for the students that are currently selected and receiving scholarships on a semester basis are in that number. So you can see the contracted funds of the 585 is the 247,500, and that 247,500 is even money that will go for the class of 25 that will not be selected until spring of next year. Is that correct, Mark? Okay. I get confused on that number. So this is the beauty of the scholarship program. So in this number of 247,500, we did have, the board did decide to pull back a few of the 8, they pulled back 2 scholarships for the time being because of the income, because of the capital campaign and the lower donations to the endowment or our fundraisers. And so we're going to have 6 students, select 6 students that we don't even know who they are yet, but the money's already in the kitty. It's already in the hopper. That way, when a student starts, we don't have to worry about, are we gonna have enough money? Will we have enough to push them all the way through? And we do. And that's the key on this program. That I feel, we don't want to issue a scholarship to a student and not know where the money is or where it's going to come from. So the way that this fund started out, so we have the principal of $288,307 that started with $68,014. Forfeited scholarships, students that were selected to receive a scholarship and for one reason or another surrendered their scholarship for whatever reason that was. They didn't meet the guidelines of the contract. That money then rolled into the endowment portion of the principal of the endowment. The investment earnings has been of $140,792. This has all been. There was a small amount started back in 2005, 8, somewhere in there. It was a small amount, and this has all been since 14, when Jose was president. Oh, and we did receive $5,390 in scholarships, and we thank you for that. I mean, scholarship donations, endowment donations, and we thank you for that. No, we won't go through that. We kind of did. So that's how we grow the scholarship endowment. And to date, repairs year to date for the Aggie Park was only $48.47. I think there's some other things that have been done. Other people have donated out of their pocket. We thank you, Logan Ricker, for that, because I think you donated for some things. And that's all I have. Is there any questions? Any questions from me or the endowment? God, that was great, Mark. That was a great presentation. You did good.
I'm going to wrap this up by first having Mark come up and talk about his annual report, and then I'm going to have Vice President Logan Ricker come up and just summarize future Monday lunches.
Howdy. So if you recall, normally I would also give a presentation at the annual meeting, but it's going to be pushed to next week. So I will have an update for our main activities, membership, rentals, scholarships, the fundraisers we've had through this year. It's definitely been an interesting year, but we will do that next week, and I'll have about a 30-minute presentation with some pictures and give my update. So I look forward to doing that.
Can we keep voting? Can we keep voting until next week?
Hey, thanks, Mark. Logan, our Vice President, Club Vice President, come on up.
Howdy, Eggs. First, I want to thank y'all. I must have received 120,000 votes this week. So I want to thank all you Aggies out there that voted.
That was just from your family.
Oh, yeah. We forgot to mention, in the back, we've got the Aggie Women's Club selling pies and selling pecans. And for everybody at home, if you want a pie or pecans, you need to come to Monday lunch and buy them. They also got Fiesta medals for $10. As for the rest of Monday lunches, as long as we got football games, we'll have football games to watch. But right now, everything keeps getting postponed, and cases continue to rise. So we're just taking it 10 minutes at a time. So we'll see how it is 10 minutes from now if we're going to have lunch next week. But we'll keep y'all updated, and it's good to see you guys every week. And look forward. Yeah, hopefully next year we'll have more Monday lunches as well. But anyway, thanks for coming out, guys and gals, and we'll see y'all next week, hopefully.
All right.